What's going on guys, Aero here, and welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about new Eevee evolutions inside of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Now if there's one thing that I'm almost certain about with Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield, it's the fact that we're probably going to be getting a brand new Eevee evolution. And so some of you might be wondering, well Aero, how do you know that there's going to be a new Eevee evolution? Why do you think that there is going to be one? Well, the reasoning for that is because Game Freak has pretty much always made a pattern for how they go about their new Eevee evolutions. And if you guys haven't figured out the pattern, I'm going to show you guys right now. So Game Freak's pattern for brand new Eevee evolutions is they always like to give us a new Eevee evolution in an even numbered generation. And so if you guys take a look right here, Generation 2 was the very first even numbered generation, and that introduced to us Espeon and Umbreon. And then after that, the next even numbered generation was Generation 4, and that's when we got Glaceon and Leafeon. Then after that, the next even number was Generation 6, and that's when we got Sylveon. And so now we've got Generation 8, which is also an even number, and so I'm almost certain that like 99% we're going to be seeing a brand new Eevee evolution. Now whether or not they decide to give us a new Eevee evolution in terms of pairs, like how they did with Espeon and Umbreon and Glaceon and Leafeon, or if they just want to give us one brand new Eevee evolution like what they did with Sylveon, that I'm not really sure about, but I'm 99% sure that we're going to be seeing some type of new Eevee evolution inside of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. And so in this video, I want to talk to you guys about every type of Eevee evolution that we still don't have, and also give you guys some concept art for what I think that type of Eevee evolution would look like, and also how you could evolve Eevee to get to it. Now all of the concept art that I used in this video is going to be linked in the description, so if you find something that you really like, then definitely be sure to click down below and go and check it out. Now before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that I am giving away a $20 Nintendo eShop card on my Twitter, so definitely be sure to head over to my Twitter if you want to have a chance to win. It is going to end on May 18th, so you only have a couple of days from the time that I'm going to upload this, so definitely be sure to head over there if you want to have a chance to win. But anyways, let's get started. Now this video is going to go in order from which Eevee evolution I want the least to which one I want the most, and so the first one that we have here is just a basic normal Eevee evolution. Now this is probably the least interesting out of all of the Eevee evolutions. Eevee is already a normal type, so having it evolve into another normal type just doesn't make it that interesting, but it's still a possibility because it hasn't happened yet. And as for how Eevee could evolve into a normal type Eevee evolution, I think just having it level up would make the most sense. Eevee is already a normal type, so just having it level up and get to another stronger normal type Eevee evolution would make the most sense. And I think having it level up at like 36 or 40, somewhere around there would make a lot of sense. Now the next type of eeveelution that I have is a ground type one, and I think that this concept art does a really good job at what a ground type eeveelution could look like. So you can definitely see that it's got that Egyptian scheme going around it, and I think that it makes a lot of sense for what a ground type eeveelution could look like. It just makes a lot of sense because with the Egyptians and the pyramids and everything, it just makes a lot of sense for how a ground type Eevee evolution would look like, and I think that this does a really good job because the thing with making a ground type Eevee evolution is you can't really put like a lot of rocks and everything because then it becomes too similar to what a rock type Eevee evolution could look like, so I think that this does a really good job at what a ground type one would be like. Just having an eeveelution being able to use moves like Earth Power and Earthquake would be really cool, and as for how you could get this eeveelution, this is one that I was a little bit unsure about. I don't really have that many clever ideas, so if you guys have some, definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. The one that I was thinking was maybe like having Eevee being able to learn the move Dig, and then you kill somebody with using Dig, and then having Eevee level up from using Dig, then maybe that could evolve it into a ground type eeveelution, or maybe you could like level it up during a sandstorm or something. I don't really know exactly how you could do it, but if you guys have any ideas, definitely be sure to let me know down below. The next type of eeveelution that I have is a poison type one, and this is still one that I think would be pretty cool to get. I'm not sure exactly how it would look like, but I think that this concept art does a good job of showing it, but just having an eeveelution being able to use moves like Sludge Bomb and Toxic would be pretty cool to have. Now as for how you could get a poison type eeveelution, the way that I was thinking was maybe you could level it up while it's poison. That would be a really cool method that's never been done before, where you level up your Pokemon while it has a status condition, or maybe they could do something with the item called a Poison Barb that really doesn't have that much use besides just giving it to your Pokemon to increase the power of poison type moves, but maybe if you can let your Eevee hold that and then level it up, it could evolve into a poison type eeveelution, so that could give that item some purpose. So those are just two ideas that I have. Another type of eeveelution that we still don't have is a ghost type one, and I think that this concept art does a really good job at demonstrating what a ghost type eeveelution would look like. I really love how it's got the skull, it's already giving you that spooky vibe, but I also love how it's got no limbs at all, like the feet are just floating there, and it really makes it seem like a Gengar, or not a Gengar, but like a Haunter with how it just doesn't have any arms, it's just got like the hands floating. So it does a really good job at demonstrating what a ghost type eeveelution would look like, and so yeah, I'd like to see what it would be like. I think it would be a pretty cool one to have. Now the way that I came up with for how you could get a ghost type eeveelution is pretty simple. It's just using a dusk stone on your Eevee. I didn't really come up with any clever ideas, but if you guys have any clever ideas for how you could get a ghost type eeveelution, definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. The next type of evolution is one that I would love to see in terms of how the design would be like, and that's a bug type evolution. I think it would just be so cool to see how they would turn a puppy Pokemon like Eevee into a bug type evolution. I think that there's a lot of cool things that they could do. I do love this concept art right here where you could see like the ears turn into like antennas. I think that that's a really cool design, but there's a lot of other cool things that they could probably do as well. They could try to make it have like 6 legs like most bugs. They could have little like mini wings coming out of the Eevee. There's a lot of things that they could do, but I think having a bug type evolution would be really awesome to have. And for this one, I also don't have that many clever ideas for how you could get a bug type Eevee evolution. I was thinking like you just level it up in a forest where there's a lot of bug Pokemon, and then you could get your own bug evolution, but like I don't really know any other clever way of getting it. The next type of evolution that we have is a rock type one, and this is also one that I think would be kind of cool to see. I love this concept art right here with a whole bunch of rocks coming out of the ears. I think that's a pretty cool design, and just having a rock type evolution would be really cool. I'd love to see them try to make it into like a bulky, tanky, defensive type of Pokemon. That would be pretty nice to have, and then just having Eevee being able to use moves like Rock Blast and Stone Edge would just be really awesome. Now the method that I came up with for getting a rock type evolution is that there's an item in the game called a hardstone, and this really doesn't have that much purpose. Like if you give it to your Pokemon, it powers up their rock type moves a little bit, but besides that it doesn't really have that much use. And so I feel like if you could give this to your Eevee and then level it up in order to evolve it into a rock type evolution, that would definitely give this item some use, and so I think that would be a really good way of getting a rock type evolution. The next type of evolution that we still don't have is a fighting type evolution, and I really love this concept art right here where it's basically like a ninja. You can see it's got the headband and everything, and I think that this does a really good job at showing what a fighting type evolution could look like. Just having an evolution that can learn powerful moves like Brick Break and Close Combat would be amazing. And as for how you could get your own fighting evolution, the way that I was thinking is that there's an item in the game called a black belt, and maybe if you just give that to your Eevee to hold, and then you teach it like a fighting type move and then level it up, or maybe if you just get to a certain level while it's holding that item, it could evolve into a fighting type evolution. The next type of evolution that I would love to have inside of Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield is a steel type evolution. Now the reason that I really want to have a steel type evolution is that there's really very few Pokemon that are only pure steel type. Like every single steel type Pokemon usually has a secondary typing that's attached with it, like Scizor is a steel and a bug type, and then Magnezone is an electric and steel type. There's very few Pokemon that are only steel. Like the one that I can only come up with off the top of my head is Klinklang. There might be a few more like just pure steel type Pokemon, but there aren't that many, and so having an evolution that's just a pure steel type will be really awesome to have. Now the method that I came up with for how you could get a steel type evolution is that there's an item in the game called a metal coat, and maybe if you just give a metal coat to your Eevee to hold and then you get to a certain level and you level it up, or maybe you could give a metal coat to it and you trade it with someone, it could be the first evolution that you'd have to trade to get, but I think that the metal coat would be a good item to use to getting a steel type evolution. Alright, we're down to the final two, and the next type of evolution that I would love to have inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield is a flying type evolution. Now the thing is, this evolution would be a pure flying type, and out of all of the Pokemon that exist right now, I'm pretty sure that there's only one Pokemon that's only a pure flying type and not any other type at all, and that's Tornadus, and even that Pokemon is a legendary Pokemon, so this evolution will be the very first pure flying type Pokemon that isn't a legendary. And as for how you could get a flying type evolution, if you guys don't know, there's actually an item in the game called a pretty wing, and the pretty wing actually doesn't have any significance at all. Like even if you read the description for it, it says that it just looks pretty and you could sell it to shops for a high price, and so I feel like that this would be the perfect item to finally give a use to if you could have your Eevee hold it and then level it up to evolve into a flying type evolution. And finally, the last type of evolution that I would love to have inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield is a dragon type evolution, and I think just having an Eevee turning into a dragon Pokemon would be really awesome, and I would love to see the design that they could come up with. Just having an Eevee with scales on it and a dragon tail and wings would be so awesome, and I would love to see the design that they came up with. I have some concept art for what I think a dragon type evolution could look like, but I would love to see what Game Freak could come up with in terms of a design, and I would also just love the moves that it would be able to learn, like Dragon Claw and Dragon Rush and Outrage. It would just be a very powerful Pokemon. Now for getting a dragon type evolution, the way that I came up with was maybe just holding a Dragon Fang and leveling it up. Like that's pretty much just like the simple way that I came up with. I don't really know any other clever ways of being able to get a dragon type evolution, but if you guys have any ideas, you can definitely be sure to comment down below. And so there you go guys, that's every type of evolution that we still don't have, as well as how you could possibly evolve your Eevee to get to it. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please be sure to click that like button, and also comment down below and let me know what you guys think of this. What are some types of evolutions that you would love to see inside of Pokemon Sword and Shield? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. If you're new to this channel, then please be sure to subscribe. I'm definitely going to have some more Pokemon content in the future, so please be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Click on that bell to become a part of the notification squad. Go follow me on Twitter at Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Xenoblade, so definitely be sure to join that. And remember to enter my giveaway as well. I'm giving away a $20 Nintendo eShop card on my Twitter, so definitely be sure to head over to my Twitter if you want to have a chance to win. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.